What's up, dog?
What's up, dog?
Keeping it real?
Here we are, keeping it real.
Yeah.
Let's get the theme song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
You know the theme song. It's just playing with these things.
I actually prepared a cover of the song.
You're not going to do it?
I have a cover I'd like to perform.
Oh, sure.
Kind of derivative, I know, but
It's
you're inspiring.
just playing it on that one over there.
Mhm.
I wonder if these ones sound much different. It's not pretty much the same.
Comment below if you've noticed different in the spring tones.
So I was thinking like the different, like if they're longer or shorter, but I think they're exactly the same. So it's like the same exact shit.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
That's good.
Fuck. Danny A made it sound like really like funky, and I don't know how it, like every time I do it's like, but he got it to be like, ooh, okay, holding it down maybe.
This is what it must have felt like to invent the guitar. Did you play an instrument? Did you play a percussive instrument
No,
or
I
a
did
stringed
not.
instrument?
No, but I would. I
Nothing.
wish I played trombone in 3rd grade, and I was horrible at it.
That's funny. You're such a trombone boy.
The thing is, it's like, and I feel that in my bones.
Yeah.
But it's like the notes were you have to guess, and I really hated
Well,
that.
you
It
have to
wasn't,
learn, Benny.
Well,
The music has figured out all the guessing. We figured out all the technical stuff. With every instrument, weirdly can make those sounds. They figured out exactly how to do it. You just have to practice, my friend.
That's
The
true.
secret to
That's
music.
true.
You just got to practice.
I think I would have liked if I had learned any instrument where it's like this button is this note. It would have been a lot better. But with like a trombone, it's
piano.
like piano or trumpet or flute or anything.
A valve.
You know what I mean?
You were looking for
Or a guitar. Literally
Right.
any instrument.
Well, it's
like
interesting.
trombone is an area. It's like this general area is an E, and you have to like kind of hope you get it right. And it's like really.
And you have a computer science background. Is that wrong?
I do. Speaking of that mic there, Tim.
Well, that makes sense that you have
This motherfucker.
the trombone is not a computer. Okay. Trombone is not a computer. And you
This guy's
need
interviewing me.
yeah.
Tim, do you have a music background?
Yes. Let me speak a little bit closer in the mic for this section. I did music all through school. I did marching band. I played saxophone in the marching band.
Really?
And I was the drum major of the marching band in high school.
That's what's up, dude.
That
so,
was my whole thing.
So wait, okay, drum major and saxophone?
Yes.
So you're a big music. Are you still music?
I have my saxophone here, and I play now and then, but definitely don't have like.
You gotta bust that out, dude.
I know it's coming. Oh, now I'm revealing that I have it, but
Yeah?
it'll come back another time. But yeah,
Oh,
and I played in marching band in college too.
One
which
one
was
thing
fun
about
as
my
fuck.
podcast, by the
Yeah.
way, is because I have such a close camera.
Yes.
Our knees are gonna touch a bunch.
Okay, I'm into that. I prefer it.
he was gonna let it slide, but I'm gonna point it out.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna let him know that I know.
I'm gonna make nudges throughout the evening. Comment below when you think with a timestamp and when you think we've touched knees.
Whenever our eyes wince with pleasure.
Yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
a saxophone currently. You still play drums or no?
Well, that's the thing. The drum major is kind of a misnomer because it's more. That's like the title of the leader. I was like conducting. It wasn't actually like playing drums, but I weirdly did also play the drum set in my Christian church rock band.
Oh, for
I did have a slight tenure in that rock band. Yes.
Oh, speaking of
Liberal.
which, do the classic podcast background thing. I know your mother was a pastor.
My mother was a pastor. She's retired now.
But at a punk rock church.
Well, yeah. Well, she was the pastor. That's pretty punk rock to have a female pastor to begin with.
Oh, that is actually.
That's the
I
thing.
was going for a bit because he had the drum set.
No, but it
that
really was. She
genuinely.
was one of the things in her career was like getting the older congregants to like be okay with acoustic guitars. They were like really old school. They couldn't even handle. Well, eventually it worked. Then they loved it. Then we brought it in, and everybody had so much fun.
And then you just went electric.
Yeah, exactly. Just slowly work it up on them. She started with the dark makeup when she's I was gonna say performing when she's giving her speeches, giving her sermons.
going into the tongues like
Kiss tongue, going into kiss tongue. Yeah. No, but it was pretty like
burning the Torah.
it was the no Torah in my game. No Torah in my
Well,
game. I'm a guy. I'm a guy.
burning it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, never. I'm not familiar with that.
Were they like? Is acoustic punk within that space? Is that like?
It was not punky.
Punk.
It was like, oh wow, our God is an awesome God. Those kind of like,
Oh, okay.
hell yeah, we're Christians and the sunshine of hugging each other and feeding the hungry.
Oh, is it like
That kind of
very
music.
very classic like image of youth pastor in a circle kind of
A
vibe?
little
Like,
bit. A little bit. That
Were you-
was.
So, and were you in that? Like, were you in that mindset?
It was like a little smaller church than that. It wasn't like
Okay.
sort of Justin Bieber, like cool Christian, like mega church type stuff. It was a small
Oh,
thing.
okay. I wasn't thinking mega church.
Mm.
I was thinking very
Yeah, yeah.
small.
Yeah,
In
I mean,
my-
like, we
in my
did-
mind.
But
Yeah.
like, so there wasn't really like that cool youth pastor. We had like youth group and stuff, but it was mostly like me and like 2 or 3 other kids. You know what I mean? It was like a pretty small little
Oh,
thing.
very small church.
Not very small, maybe 100 people
Okay.
every week. So it's a good crowd. Good crowd size. If you can pull 100 people a week.
Good crowd. Good crowd.
I did a
You should
little.
sell out.
I have some.
Sell out the church once
Yes,
a week.
sell it out. I had this whole bit about like, I kind of come from stand-up comedy because my mom's a pastor, but like, the jokes like work, but it's not like the funny,
Churches
most
have-
fun thing for me. It's not, I don't think it's that funny.
No, it's also. I think it's like just like kind of a truism, and a
Mm.
lot of people like that's like a sort of background a lot of people have.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
was thinking, church has great promo. I gotta get talk to their flyer guy. I gotta talk to their.
Yeah.
It'd be funny
Yeah.
to
You know
see,
what?
like,
The bulletins, the media that they produce is actually pretty impressive.
They
The
really know
clip
how to.
art. Yeah. There's
They
a
got a
whole.
logo.
There's
you
an
know what I mean?
aesthetic to Protestantism in modern day America. There's an
Yeah?
aesthetic to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of clip art. It's a lot of like cheap like poinsettias. You know that flower?
No.
Like the red flower at Christmas. There's definitely like a
I haven't been
comment
to
below
Christmas.
the Christian aesthetic that you're familiar with the not the proletariat, Protestant aesthetic.
I guess what I'm thinking is
yeah.
like there's the typical church brand, which is kind of like how fast food is. I'm thinking like a McDonald's has like a very clear cut brand, but
Right.
sometimes there's a fancy one. And so, like
Yes.
sometimes there's a fancy McDonald's, sometimes
Yes.
there's like a church that's a little fancy with it.
Okay, so my church would be like
Taco Bell.
it would be like actually no, it would be a 90s McDonald's with a play place.
Oh,
And you're like,
okay.
wow, I'm glad somebody's still doing this. I don't really think I want my kids to go there anymore, but I'm glad to see that it is still moving. Somebody's still funding that. Somebody's still paying for that. That's good.
And when
That's
did you
good.
when did you turn your back on Christ?
Well, I don't think he's always waiting for me, so you can never fully turn your back. I mean, I went all through high school, but then like in college, I just didn't go. It's all fine. I think the morality was the lessons. There was some good stuff, but not like
you can cherry pick the stuff that you
Sure.
like, and yeah.
sure. But
Sure.
I'm not like sure, Betty. I'm sweating. Yeah, let me cherry
I don't
pick
know, but,
Christianity. No, but
Well,
like
I'm
no,
not
I don't like practice formally, but I think the spirit is within me, of goodness.
Yeah,
You tell me.
you seem like a good man.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I think I learned a good lesson.
I am. So I mean, we were talking about. You were saying the pipeline of. Were you performing at the church? Were you on stage, like doing like?
Well, like the band, that was like fun enough, and I was like a very
You were in the church-
performative little boy.
you were
I
in the
was-
church band playing the drums.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then I was always like a goofy little fun boy, so like I was kind of a little, I was running around being the little sort of the prince. I had
You were
I
kind
had
of the
an older
class
sister.
clown
I
of
was the
the
class
church.
clown of church as well as the class, exactly. So like there's all these kind of like basically like 100 80-year-olds who kind of like know me, and I'm like running by all their knees, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what was the question?
Well, like, were you performing?
Oh, not
wait.
really in church, but I was like
Yeah.
a lively, energetic kid that everybody was like, "Hi, Timmy," like trying to engage with me. So I was like learning social skills and running around and like making people laugh, and I always like to joke around. And,
Good
like,
crowd.
Good crowd, very easy crowd.
Oh, easy
Too
laugh.
easy,
Yeah.
too easy. But that's a helpful beginnings to get to be really
Ego
supportive.
boost.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you start stand up in college or like more recently?
In college, yes. I remember like at that time when I was a kid in elementary school and stuff, people were like, "Oh, you should be a stand-up comedian one day." And I remember thinking like, obviously, yes, I want to clearly do comedy, but like, for years, I was like, I don't think I'm like stand at the mic Jerry Seinfeld guy. And now I know like, oh, I absolutely do that too, and I want to. But
I've
like
never seen you do that.
well, not I mean,
Hold
I
on
mean,
now.
well, we can
No,
all
you're-
talk
no,
about
you're
Jerry
right,
Seinfeld.
yeah.
Comment below what you think Jerry Seinfeld means to you.
Put
But
it
yeah,
in
so that was an early inkling that I was already sort of alty. But then in college at NYU, there was like a little stand-up club that
I love
started.
that. I love that idea. But you were in the alt scene at church.
Yeah, I was definitely in the alt.
Kinda
It
doing
was the
that.
alt church. Yeah, I keep saying proletariat. The Protestants are very United Methodist, very liberal. It is
okay.
alt church, definitely. It's like
There's alt synagogues too. There's
mm,
Reformation.
Right,
there's,
right,
like,
right.
Sort of, yeah.
there's in
Or Reconstructionist.
Yeah.
Reform is standard than Reconstruction.
there's a thing called like reconciling church in
Ooh.
Christianity, which is like pro-gay and inclusive, and like reconciling that and like learned our lesson. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like
It's I mean,
trying to
it's, like,
trying to
tricky 'cause
broadcast
it's
that, like, be like we are safe. We're a modern, safe
Yeah, but
option.
honestly, every time there's a new church, it's just because they're reconciling another thing. Like
Yeah.
every new sect
Yeah.
of Christianity is like, all right, everything but that last one.
There should be a new church. There
Just-
should be a new church that says there's a second God. That should be the
God
new church.
too.
There's another church.
We
There's a
think
new
Jesus
God.
was not the original. We think he was a separate guy from
Yep.
God, but also
He was actually God's grandson. And what we thought of God is actually the real son. Anyway, but
Yeah.
but stand up. Yeah, so I started stand up in college, but I did improv first, like sophomore year.
Yeah, you clearly come from like a character background.
Clearly.
Well, when I've seen you, when I 1st
Mhm.
saw you,
Yeah.
everything you were doing was kind of character bits. Like you were doing like Tim the whistling comedian.
Yep. And I did
Or,
Invisible Comedian.
and Tim the invisible comedian. I love.
Did you see
Tim
the
Invis-
Blindfolded Comedian? Did you see that one?
I think so. I don't really remember that one.
It was really only like those three, and I really only did them at the Ladies Who Ranch. Mike, comment below if you love the Ladies Who Ranch. And I was like, why did I choose to do that at that mic? I don't know. It felt like sort of central, and I was like still meeting everybody, and I wanted to be like, boom, here I am. But I was
Yeah,
also
definitely.
running around to all the other mics and doing like what you don't call stand up, but what I call stand up. So I wasn't, and I really don't come from like an acting background, really. So I don't.
Clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
The way
I'm
you
all
did-
me. I'm all me. No, yeah, I'm a big goofball. I'm a big
No,
goofball.
no.
So I do like Tim characters, but I'm not like an actor.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not. That wasn't a real diss. That was a. Like,
No. I'm
uh,
I'm responding to the correct analysis. Yeah.
It wasn't analysis. it's,
Okay, well, I'm
light,
responding to
But
the-
okay, sure.
The same language as me.
Because I've been to your open mic, and even when I was there, you
Yeah.
were like dressed
Mhm.
up in like a sexy Valentine's
Yeah.
Day man outfit.
Yeah.
And if you weren't
Mhm.
doing a full-on different character from Tim himself, you were
Yeah.
doing
Yeah, you're right.
sexy Tim.
That's right.
Much
Much like
it's like
type like Mario and his different hats
yeah.
and his different powers.
You're a man of many hats,
But you know it's
but
still,
never
it's
the
still me.
kippah.
Well, not yet. We'll
Not
see.
yet.
Life is long. Life is long,
the-
my friend.
Tim the Jewish
Tim
goy.
the Jewish comedian.
Jewish goy.
The other Jewish.
Tim the Jewish comedian, and you just do your normal stand-up.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We'll see.
Just do stand-up and
My last name's Myer.
anyway, but yeah, no, I like that you're.
Mm.
I really like that you're experimenting and doing
Mm.
interesting stuff, even when you're not doing those bits.
Yeah.
The stuff you're talking about from a straightforward stand-up
Mm.
perspective, I feel like you're still
Yeah.
having a different energy than the average comedian. You're doing neat
Mhm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let me introduce my guest this week. That's Tim.
name's Tim Myer. Timothy Myer.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Look him up.
Comment below my last name spelled correctly. I also don't want to repeat all the things that everybody's asked you, but when did you start? Was it like when you were like 12 years old? That's kind of the energy.
I started like improv my sophomore year of college, and then I started stand up my fourth year of college.
We're like on that. Well, yeah, I match that.
Yeah, about Drexel 5-year, so it's like I was doing it for like 2 years in school before
Nice.
I hit the. Well, I mean, I was kind of doing it the last like year. I mean, I don't know. It's. I guess I should say I was doing it in. I was doing improv, doing some stand up at like just at college, and then the last 2 years of college, I also was going out because once I was 21, I could
Okay,
go to
right.
bars.
Right.
So
right.
pretty much since I was 21 and
Yeah.
allowed to. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
The Philly scene's bar heavy. It's like entirely
Yeah.
bars. Yeah.
And is there like a pretty big mic ecosystem there then? Once you were 21, you were able to like.
Yes, in the bars
Live it.
for sure. I mean, even the club might have been 21. Also, I'm not entirely sure on that. Good was not. You could do good under 21 because it didn't serve alcohol.
Yeah.
But it's like that didn't exist until 2016, which I think was around the time, like around the time I turned 21. Good.
Right.
How old am I? I'm 28.
27. Yeah. I also I hadn't really thought about it so much, but yeah, it started more when I was like 20, 21, and then like getting
Right,
involved. I
'cause
didn't even think about it.
That's
at
when
that
you're
point.
allowed to.
Yeah, I didn't
You know
even
what
think
I
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, like I talked to like Asha, for example.
Yeah.
She was just on the pod, and she started when she was like 18 or 17 because I guess she was in an ecosystem at her school that she could. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like, it always seems like colleges should have always the same very robust, fun little cultural scene happening, but it really seems to be random, don't you think?
Yeah. I'm gonna chew these bubbles in my bubble.
Chew your bubble, tea, your boba boy.
No, my college did have an open mic. Fuck. I just swallowed the bubbles whole.
Yeah.
But so I started a stand-up club at my college, but that wasn't until the end, and it was kind of as like a people shouldn't have to wait like I did. Like,
right.
Once I was already doing the mics, I was like, damn, I wish there was because the mic that was at Drexel was variety. So it was like, it was poetry, music,
guitars,
like all that sort of stuff. And then you go up and do stand up, and it's like not the right vibe or environment, or it's not other people working on it. So it's like, and it's like some of the worst poetry ever. And it's just like, I want to see some of the worst stand up ever, not some of the worst poetry ever. But the mic I ran called Drexel 4D Printing Club.
Okay. That's funny.
And, just a little dumb idea.
Yeah.
And it was a feedback mic.
Okay.
You would do your
Did you run that? You ran the feedback
mic? Ran the feedback mic. Yep.
Yeah.
Then we had those wind chimes right there.
Okay.
And
artifact. Call me artifact.
It's we served tea, and you could do 5 minutes, and then at the end of your 5 minutes, you could ask for feedback or not, and you would stay on stage. And if you wanted feedback, you had to stay silent, and the people in the room could give you constructive feedback, but they weren't allowed to like punch up any of your jokes. They're allowed to be like, this joke
or whatever.
Like that joke didn't make sense to me, or like I think you should go expand on that, or like that kind of thing. You weren't allowed to be like, oh, you should say this instead. It was like that. And then once the feedback was done, you'd ring the wind chimes, and then the next person would go.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's very respectful.
Yeah.
It's a very respectful way to deal with it, because I'm sure plenty of people plenty of hosts might take that idea and just be like, it's just an extra show for them.
Yeah.
To just like,
Were you interested in stand-up before or performing comedy? Well, how'd you get into improv? I'm curious. Was that a...
Well, I was always watching stand. I was like Comedy Central kid all the way growing up. And like then in high school was watching like, Colbert and all that. So I was like always pretty much plugged in as a kid, but not really sure I was going to do stand-up. And I like watched Whose Line Is It Anyway as a little boy, like all that shit on TV.
Whose Line rules, yeah.
Big time, so much.
And Colbert Show used to be a great character.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So I was always like clearly gonna be a part of it later as I grew up. But then in college, I don't know, freshman year, I was at UCLA, and it's like very heavy like activity. So I just saw a flyer or something for the improv team and went to a tryout.
So have you been on two college, like, you were on the UCLA improv team?
That's right.
You transferred to NYU.
Yeah. And then
NYU.
auditioned when I came and got into another one then.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So definitely started improv, very comfortable doing improv, super like it. Really,
I love it.
Really enjoying doing it at BCC. Saw you do it once. It was awesome. I think I'd like to yank you in more often. Carly Maruli as well, I know, has a background.
Ooh, shout out Carly.
I want to see some Carly and Benny 2prov. There, now we're talking. That
could be fun.
That would be pretty good.
The thing is, I do enjoy it. It's so ephemeral. I don't know.
Yes, ephemeral.
Which I do like. I mean, I do like. I don't know. It's I'm a little embarrassed. I don't know. It's like I don't. If I wanted to do it, I would really like to learn all this stuff and get good. But I also hate all the information, like all of the stuff that's like out there on like how to do a proper herald bothers me.
Sure.
I'm like, I don't know. For some reason, it feels so stiff, or like anytime we used to have this like these improv coaches sometimes come to like our improv team in college.
You drop $50.
Yeah, and they just like and they like give us a lesson for a day. And we'd be like, at the end of it, I always be like, this person doesn't know shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, that's not funny. What are you talking? Like, what do you mean? I don't know. But I mean, at the same time,
improv
I still learned plenty about like scene work. But
it's one of the interesting arts, isn't it? Because it's like, It depends if it's your flavor, because for me as an audience member, it's a high risk, high reward. You know what I mean? Because I really love it if it pays off. If somebody really has a stroke of genius, then it's really worth it. But of course, classic, cliche stuff about improv is it's usually not gonna land there. But wait, so this is interesting to me. You said like you're like, I'm embarrassed. You're embarrassed to do it.
I'm embarrassed
because you wish you would have like some kind of mastery, some kind of control. You want like the textbook, but then you're like, but the textbook's not very good, so why would I even try to work on the mastery?
Yeah, I mean, I would work on the mastery, but I would work on kind of trying to figure out improv more and like kind of my own way to do it. And I have done that plenty over the years. Yeah. But I kind of feel like I really got a lot out of it. I learned a lot from it, and I did that already to some degree.
I feel you. Yeah.
If I were to get back into it, I'd have to. I mean, part of the mastery of what I feel like I learned is like that sort of flow with a specific group of people.
Sure.
And like I really had that flow with my team, and to get back into it now, I think the new thing I'd have to learn is how to do it with strangers really well.
Yeah.
And I don't care about that as much.
Right.
I don't know. Part of the joy of the social bonding for me is like with friends. I mean, I am friends. I don't know.
Well, like
maybe I'm making excuses. It kind of feels like I'm making excuses.
Well, it's just a priority. I mean, it's just everybody has a different like energy output of what they want to really go into.
If I wasn't doing stand up, I would do improv.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But I'm too focused on stand up.
Yeah. And
you don't mind letting your stand up slip into
into nothingness.
No, I mean,
go hang out in the basement.
But you like doing both, and you feel like they feed each other.
Yeah, because I don't really. I think my path is sort of a mystery. You know what I mean? Even to me sometimes. Oh, there goes some boba.
Just got squirted on by the boba tea.
A little squirt.
That's
We're cool. You're gonna have to reorder your Sosnick. Are you staining?
I don't know. It's coconut. If anything, it'll stain clear. Probably.
Probably look good.
Yeah.
Might be the next
a white
edition.
shirt. It's a white shirt. If it stains white, it'll be fine. I got some boba tea. I got a shirt that says, "I heart my LGBTQ plus Twitter followers," from Charlie Sosnick, who's been on the pod. He runs Capsule Collection. Very fine shirts.
Capsule Collection, Charlie Sosnick.
Do you feel like your stand-up and improv feed each other?
Yes, definitely.
Like that snake that's biting itself.
That's right. That might be a good symbol for both of us. I think it's both very useful.
Or two people 69ing, but for their butts.
Right.
Two people sucking each other's butts.
That's right. I think sometimes on stage I kind of, not all the time, but I sort of like black out into like beast mode, like performance mode. And I think that might kind of come from improv a little bit, of like just being like, okay, I'm confident and I'm doing this thought all the way. And I think sometimes in my stand-up I'm able to access that. How else does it benefit? How much does stand-up help improv? Comfort level just on stage. I'm noticing, like you were saying, yes, being in a group, like that dynamic is so good to experience. But like I'm not on a team right now. I'm not an improv team, so I go to the jams and I like perform occasionally with groups now and then. But I'm like, I am performing with a lot of new people. But that's what I think I am working on more these days. I'm not really concerned with like the forms, like the textbook, but I'm like, okay, I am noticing a change in like my stage comfort and like my relaxed improv brain, and I'm like having more fun lately. Actually, past few months.
Definitely, and I think the inverse. I mean, the inverse. When it did overlap for me a little bit, I felt like the stand up helped with my like jokes in improv. I felt like I could make more like like precise stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, faster and like
yeah.
The stage time for both helps the other. Definitely, I think so.
Do you think where do you think sketch falls into this? I don't. Are you doing sketch at all? I've started dipping my toes in.
In what way? Oh, you did your like videos. I don't think of sketch so often, and my instinct is like, okay, let's write a script and have 3-4 people and figure out the props. In my mind, it's like I have these occasional video ideas, or like I'll perform a bit that's kind of a sketch, kind of a solo, sketchy elements. You know what I mean? I have it beat it out, but I don't really like think to open final draft and like sketch right. That's something I should work on more. Is that your vibe?
Like, well, I mean,
or like how do they help each other? Yeah, I mean, like I definitely think I'm doing sketches sometimes. Like I'll decide I want to just do this thing tonight, and it's not going to be any of my jokes. Like at Honey Baby, I put a song on, and then like had kind of a monologue over it. It's like kind of a sketchish thing. I think I don't really think of myself as doing characters. I think of like Tim wearing a hat doing a sketch.
Okay.
Within the Tim universe.
Within the Tim universe.
Yeah. Within the Tim worldview.
Just coming back to mine, I don't want to lose the thread. I want to talk about Mouse a little bit. We played a game of Assassin in the Brooklyn alt scene.
Last October, October 2021.
Yeah, really, really, really fun.
Yeah.
That game, there's a variety of permutations of it, but basically like, some number of people, 30 to 50 people, everybody gets in a secret target. If you take that person out in some way or another, in this case it was spray water on them, or there were a couple methods. But then once you kill that person, you get their target. And Tim was swimming in this. He killed what, like 15 people? 10 people?
I got 10 kills.
10 kills out of a pool of
60, 70 people.
Yeah, so you got like
I turned it down.
1/6 of the. You were the final two, right?
Final three. I was third place, believe it or not. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, the top two conspired against me. Long story.
I see.
Long story. Should have seen it coming. Kind of did. It's all good. I made my point. Got my kills.
Yeah,
got out of there.
But okay.
Made my point.
And I'm not just bringing that up just to flex for Tim's skill in some random game.
We'll allow for the flex, but that wasn't the primary. No.
That was the primary. The secondary reason.
Thank you.
Secondary reason is while doing that, and that game, people were taking to it rather casually, which is fine. But like Tim really,
I locked the fuck in.
Tim locked in, and like we all got code names that were animals, and Tim's code name was Mouse.
But nobody knew that.
Mine was like Otter or something.
Okay. And slowly, and Michelle would post the kills there was an Instagram that would post the kills as they rolled out.
Yes.
And it said who killed who. And slowly just Mouse started making a damn name for himself. And people started going, who the fuck is Mouse? And at the same time, I was like, I landed back in New York in like last June. So from like June until October, I was really hitting mics hard, meeting tons of people. And then that happened at the same time. So it like helped me kind of spread out my word a little bit more. And I was already doing my invisible guy and my whistling guy. By October, I was already my little reputation.
You were in the scene for sure.
I was already starting to make myself aware, known to people. So I was like, I love games like that. I love that nobody else was being, like you said, everybody's being so casual. It's like perfect. It's perfect for me.
Explain what you were doing. With Mouse and why I'm bringing it up.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So I started because of the Instagram ecosystem of everybody posting pictures and all the mics. I would figure out who my target was, and I would figure out where they're gonna be, and I would just go there, squirt them, all within the rules. I never lied once. I never did any conspiring, frankly.
Okay.
I guess, but that's not what you're asking.
Specifically what I'm bringing up is that as Mouse's reputation grew within the game, Tim made a like Instagram profile for Mouse.
That's right.
And started releasing media content.
That's right.
Related to the game that was like really well edited videos along the lines of like
a serial killer.
The mouse, basically like a serial killer dropping these things.
Yeah.
Like the mouse is looking for cheese. Can you elaborate on all that?
Right. So because I was so gung-ho, I was having so much fun doing this, Michelle said, we're going to stop the game at the end of the month. So if you haven't made it by this day, then it's over. And I said, no, ma'am. Mouse is not done. So I made this scary video being like, please don't stop the game, Mommy. We're hungry. We're hungry for more. We don't want to stop playing. It's so fun. I'm Mouse. And I like literally on Final Cut Pro, there's like a cartoon animal voice changer. And one of the options is Mouse. Like, I'm dead.
Oh my God.
And so then I posted that video. Michelle knew I was Mouse the whole time and was supporting me the whole entire time and didn't help me cheat or anything. But she was like, thank you, Tim, for doing what you're doing. Like secretly we would have she would be aware. And so I posted the video. She reposted it, and people then were like, "Now who the fuck is Mouse? What the fuck is Mouse?" Brian Kelly commented like, "At the cops, please, somebody arrest this man." So yeah, I was like, "No, we're playing this game." And then Michelle released a statement. It was like, "The game has been extended," and I was like, hey, "That's right, Mouse."
I will say I did know it was from a certain point on. I did know it was you.
Some people, some people. Because once I
it was
kill
also
you, then you know it's me.
Oh, true. Yeah, it was.
So slowly people figured it out.
It became extremely obvious. I think people were like, "Oh, Tim is Mouse."
Right.
And like, I don't remember a period of time when the videos were out that I didn't know it was you.
Yeah.
But I think you assassinated maybe like a close friend of mine or something. I forget who, but
close friend.
yeah,
I forget the names too.
I don't know. I forget
But,
who. You killed so many.
Killed so many. Killed
The
10
names
people.
are all lost to the annals of history. They should
That's
put a
right.
statue. You know that German statue for the mouse sewing like DNA for all the lab mice.
Oh my
They do
god.
one of those, but instead it's like
To
for you, it's
represent-
like,
yeah.
like a
All the comedians.
like a Robert E.
who-
Lee statue on like a horse.
10 comedians' shirts I squirted with water in 1 month of 2021.
Did you get anybody? So the other two methods were you could clip people with a clothes
Yeah.
pin. Yeah,
And then
did you come-
I was all squirting.
or you could write poison on a sticky note and put
Yeah.
it below their like beverage or food.
Mm-hmm. I was all squirting.
All squirt.
All squirt. I had my little squirt gun in a freaking fanny pack. I was ready to go. I received a golden squirt bottle for my efforts at the award ceremony. Michelle
That's-
gave me
really?
Michelle gave me a one of those little plastic squirters completely coated in gold. It's,
That's
it's beautiful. I have a shelf of comedy artifacts.
Oh, I've got a folder.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like just important stuff.
Little
from early days.
random. It looks like garbage, but it's all like props from shows and like funny little moments like that.
That's
And
lovely.
I'm
That's
very-
important to have.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. I have an empty Diet Coke bottle that I chugged at a Simpletown show by chance. Like Caroline, like elected me as a random person, and I chugged
Oh wait.
that kind of thing, like random.
Is
little-
that a sketch they do or is that a?
Yeah, it was like an audience thing.
Was that at Silly Reliquary?
I think I did it a few times. It was at Asylum when I.
Oh, okay.
Was a part-
Okay.
Jordan,
I was
I
gonna say,
think,
'cause I've
did one
seen
too.
that bit done. I thought
Yeah.
maybe you had done it before I met
No,
you.
I had no idea it was gonna happen, and I just. Then I just.
No,
chugged it.
I thought maybe we were at the same show or something. But I see what you're saying.
Copy that. Yeah.
I wanted to bring up a different story.
Yeah, you know what?
That's,
Simpletown really repeats all their shit a ton. What the fuck? Yeah, that kind of sucks. I
They're
kinda
doing
don't like
they're
that
doing
about
their
Simpletown.
sketches more than once.
Wow, pretty
That makes sense.
predictable. Kind of one of the most predictable comedy teams in the world. Am I wrong?
Comment
below.
Simpletown. I've been trying to post their.
No, I love them.
I've been posting without their knowledge. I've been posting their sketches on Reddit to try if they get any traction.
Good. Well, now they know.
I'll keep posting them.
No, they
I've only
deserve it.
posted
They're
two.
very funny.
Yeah. I'll do that to more people's stuff. I'm gonna post like.
Shadow posting.
Yeah,
Shadow
I like
supporting.
shadow supporting my friends'
Yeah.
art. But I don't know if
In the
people
dark
want their
channels.
stuff on Reddit or whatever. But anyway, I just like, put it in r/funny, and if it happens to go viral,
Why
my
not?
friends are now.
Why not?
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Raise the boat for us all. Thank you, Benny, for your
Fucking,
efforts.
let's see. What's I thinking? Oh, a friend of mine went really, really hard
Yeah.
in a game of Assassin, and I think you
Okay.
might really find this interesting.
Hit it. Yeah.
My friend Edric, and I'm gonna butcher this story, but I'll do the highlights of what I remember.
Yeah. Well, he didn't butcher the first name. Edric. Beautiful.
Oh, well, he's a close friend. I'd love to have him on the pod. Almost all my friends are in Philadelphia, so everybody I've had on the pod has been like a New York comedian. But
Okay.
it's weird that I've got all this backlog of like
Yeah.
best friends that I just like.
Maybe they'll come over
good.
over the years.
I'd love to. That's actually him on the wall right there. He's
What
in
up,
that
Ed?
in that photo. But anyway,
Assassin.
love this guy. He was an RA at my college. Not my RA, but he's an RA. He was on my improv team. And the RAs had a game of Assassin. He took it so seriously. And basically, this one girl got the jump on him in a situation where he was in a room and on like a second floor of a building. You see why that's important probably already in your head.
Not harder to escape. Yes.
Yeah, very hard to escape.
Mhm.
And she he grabs the screen of a window
Uh-huh.
and it's like it's the version of Assassin they played was you have to tag them with the spoon.
Okay.
And he's like blocking the fucking spoon
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
And like she's like about to get him.
Yeah.
And if I am getting this correct, he jumped out of the window.
I love it. That's the kind of game we're playing.
Yeah.
Bring this man to Brooklyn. That's the kind of game we're playing in the New York scene.
I'd love to have him here. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's the kind of commitment I expect from any game. That's what a game is.
He
you understand?
He
It's a game.
commits. You guys would get along really well.
Yeah.
He commits to shit. He's he like LARPs and stuff, and he's like really he like
Ooh.
gets into full character and goes to like a LARPing place for like a full weekend or something.
No, I'm interested. Let me ask you this, Benny. When's the last time you were in a costume?
Probably Halloween. Last October.
Outside of Halloween, when was the last time you were in costume?
Ooh, that's tricky. I can't. I have no idea.
Have you performed in costume ever in your life?
Performed?
Did you do? I didn't do like theater we didn't have that in my high school. Did you do anything like that? Did you
I
do
did
Shakespeare,
theater.
Benny? Did Benny do Shakespeare?
No, I
Benny
know
Feldman?
Shakespeare. I did Mulan. There's photos of me in
What do you
Asian
mean you
face.
did? Oh,
There's photos of me in Asian face.
Don't
in,
love that.
In
well, we're gonna scrub
this
them.
is last year. Just kidding.
Okay.
No, it's 7th grade. Yeah.
Damn. Wait, your 7th grade produced a Mulan production,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
were you one of the soldiers?
I was
you
a
a
guy.
Hun?
I was a guy who only exists in the play in order to bring out props live onto set.
You're like the armorer.
I was the Shang Tsung salesman.
Okay.
And the like.
What's that? Is that a?
You know when they scale the castle and they have
Yes.
to switch into the dresses.
That's
and
right. Mhm.
In the play version,
Yeah.
they change on stage, and
Okay.
I'm the guy that brings out the outfits, and I go, and it's like a comedy bit where they're like, we'll never get Shang Tsung's they like this close to
Garments.
the we'll never get these.
It's already the festival.
I literally I come out and I'm like, get your Shang Tsung's for sale. I think I'm saying the word correctly. I'm not entirely sure.
And that's the garment that they use to climb the pillars.
yeah.
How did they? Wait. Okay, so this is a very elaborate way to get the prop out. Did they then execute the stunt? How did were there kids climbing
I don't
poles?
fucking remember.
They're just like they built this scene in. They write in this character, the salesman of it. They go,
Yeah.
well, thanks for the garments to get
And
up
then
the
they-
pillars.
I
Now
think-
we can
I think
cut
so.
to inside the castle.
I think so. I think they cut.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And then I think it's like, I think they have them change on stage, so that it's clear to the audience that it's the same people,
Right.
from a distance. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Uh-huh.
to keep the through line. But then it's like I also played some of Mushu's Fire. So I had some like
All right.
fire, and I
Some
ran
blanketing.
on stage and did that.
You're an
But-
auxiliary player.
But they did put me in Asian face. They like
I
did
hate
these
that. I
like
hate this.
they did these eyes
That's
that
terrible.
like yeah.
That was such a mistake. It's insane. It's wild how many adults are in child of how many children there are.
To be,
There's
this
no
would
way
have
to
been
keep track of all these adults that are taking care
this
of
would have been
these children.
2007 when it was
When it was already
when it was
aware that
when it was
that
when it was
racism is
fair
horrible.
game to be racist.
No.
When racism was
No,
allowed
Benny, no,
in America.
Benny, no,
the
Benny.
good old days. No,
No,
hold on. No.
It's never
Yeah.
been allowed. It's never been allowed.
No, yeah. I am amazed. There's photos of it. It's
Wow.
like amazing. Maybe I'll
Damn.
make that. Maybe I'll put that in the
Put that
comment
in
on the
Reddit
Patreon.
are funny.
I'll put that.
And just say this is Benny Feldman,
Have
contemporary successful
you?
Brooklyn.
Did you do theater or did you do?
No, there was no theater program in my high school, so I did.
Really?
That's
What?
why I did band.
Did you go to public high school?
Yes, I did. A very
No theater program.
No, when my sister went to the high school, there was a small program, but then a few years later, it was gone. It's a small, humble suburb of Sacramento.
You say that's why you did band?
Well, yeah,
Would you
because-
have done theater if that?
Yeah,
is that
for
a-
sure, for
Really?
sure. That was the
Okay.
closest thing to like I said, I was a funny, performative, energetic kid. So, and I was already playing instruments in elementary school, so like was natural to end up there. But I would have done theater, and I did at UCLA. I did like Shakespeare. I did 2 Shakespeare.
Oh, so
plays.
you've done Shakespeare? Okay.
Two.
Yeah.
I had one. I was just like some random ass lord. Like everybody has to be that.
Sure.
I was like the salesman or the Mushu's Fire. But then
The other
this-
one who played the skull.
That's right. Yeah, no. But the second one, it was Much Ado About Nothing, which is a really, really funny play.
Okay.
And I played this like bumbling night watchman named Dogberry. It's really fucking funny. I was so excited, and I was like, I'm getting that role. I knew they were going to be doing it, and like a year later, I'm like, I'm doing it next year. And I did this obscene Cockney accent because like the director was like, we're setting it in 60s Britain, fine. You know what I mean? Whenever like Shakespeare's like, we're setting it in, fine,
Yeah.
do that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
It's like
I was like,
it's
great.
Romeo and Juliet, but it's a gas station in the 90s.
Yeah,
That was
fine.
like literally that.
Oh, the
that's
Baz
like,
Luhrmann one
That's like a scene in my head that I'm like, what?
with the guns.
I hardly remember that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And their guns say sword because they have to say the word sword. They can't change it with gun. Anyway. Yeah. So,
That's
but
so
that's as far as like acting, like theater stuff I've done. Then I just was doing improv and stand up. So
Did you? It sounds like you still enjoyed band though. It sounds like it was like way up your alley.
big time.
Yeah.
It was huge. And I love the jazz band. That was my whole thing in
You
high
play
school
jazz?
too. Mm-hmm.
Are you So you still have the saxophone? Are you still playing the saxophone?
Yeah, now and then.
Yeah.
Now and then. I'm gonna, I used to play
Just
like every
crooning.
day as a kid. What's up?
Just crooning in the.
Playing
Yeah.
my favorite tunes, putting on some little YouTube tracks. Yeah. A little jam out.
That's
But like seriously, I was way better as a kid because it was like every day I was playing pretty much a couple hours a day at school because it was just like 0 period jazz band, marching band practice, weekends. So I was like pretty good at it.
Damn.
And it's like lost a little bit.
Did you ever do competitions or anything?
Yeah,
shit
we
like that?
competed in marching band.
Nice.
And our school again was like one
You
of the
doing
humble
solos?
ones.
Like you doing like?
It was like, okay, in marching band we do like patterns out on the football field.
Hut hut.
Did you ever see that?
Sorry,
That was football patterns.
that was
but it's similar.
No, hut hut.
But
was
like,
yeah, I mean
it would be like
that was a tick. That's like a new tick that I have.
that's a,
So
it actually is one.
Yeah, that
Hut?
actually is. That's like.
Interesting.
I wonder if that was like some sort of subconscious thing. But
I
yeah,
didn't know.
that's,
I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, it's a new tick.
It's really funny.
Sorry. Yeah, it happens.
No.
Yeah.
But like,
The patterns.
did you ever see a field show, a marching band field show out on the
Sure,
field,
sure.
and they spell out letters or whatever?
Yeah.
So that's what we would compete with on the weekend. It was like 20 bands
Ooh.
would all drive to some other city and compete.
Who can make the best shapes?
Whose school already has the most money and was able to afford the most cute extra props every year? And
Oh, true.
there were some schools that had like, oh my God, there was this school that had like 250 kids in the band, high school, and they had golf carts pull out an entire
Fuck.
jazz band. An entire jazz band entered the stage, and then the 200 marching band people were going around it. We're like, you gotta be. There's like 60 of us. We're fundraising out our ass, selling frozen pizzas, so that we can like play our like old trumpets. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It
so
was like,
it's
I was the-
money to get like.
well, you have to pay for like the bus and stuff. And it was a public school. It wasn't one of the rich schools, so like we definitely had to fundraise, and you definitely had to like. It was annoying. Doesn't it suck how much of that part is like, so many kids do that. Fundraise for all their debate club, field trips, everything, even sports. It's terrible.
It's so funny.
Takes up so much time.
Yeah, if it's debating like fundraising for debate club is very funny.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you have to argue. You have to.
Yeah, you have
argue
to-
why you have.
You have to debate before you even get there. Oh my God, you have to debate that you should exist.
I was
So
I
fucked
was
up,
checking the
man.
time because I was worried we were. I was like, this conversation's flying. I was worried we were like way over because we were
Yeah.
just having too much
You
fun.
have to speed us up. You know how to do that on Premiere Pro?
Yeah, click the mouse button.
Wait, Benny, I'm blown away. That was really funny. That was really good.
Just made a noise.
What?
I like noises.
Let me ask you, Benny.
I would play a lot with my Legos, and I would
Okay.
make noises all the time if that's
Yeah, you know
that
what?
helps.
My family would. Yes. I was the youngest one of my family, so I'd be doing this. My family would say, "Tim, can you stop with the sound effects?" Did you get that shit?
No.
Nobody stopped you?
I play with Legos until I still pull them out sometimes. They're right here.
Bro, they're beautiful. I'm familiar with famous
Hell
Legos.
yeah. Shout out. I'm going to show my Legos to them.
Yeah. We'll go through them. That would be a really good
We
bonus-
already did go
bonus
through them.
Yeah, me
Last
and you
time
did.
you were here, I tasked you with
Yep.
guessing which one was the most important.
Yep.
And
Took me a while.
You guessed,
I think I got close.
you guessed a pretty top character.
Yeah, I got within the top 5.
Yeah?
I know a notable warrior when it's in Lego form. Sure.
Are you were a Lego guy?
Big time?
That makes
Me and my
sense 'cause
sister heavily. We got the Harry Potter castle for Christmas one year.
Yeah.
Oh, that was lit.
Yes. I didn't get the whole castle, but I got some sort
Yeah,
of
there were so many sets.
there's
of
some
it.
sort of Harry Potter yeah.
I had ninjas. I had knights. We had like household.
What was
cooking,
your
cooking Lego.
architecture? Like
Yeah.
I asked this because I mean,
Yeah.
I'll just prime it by being like, I
Mhm.
would make them do battle.
Yeah.
There were factions.
Yep.
And I think
Yes.
I gave you this note before where it was like
Mhm.
some of my characters, like when I got older,
Yeah.
I was like, they can't just keep doing battle over and over again with it being like that's kind of boring.
You had a long-term narrative.
I had a long-term narrative,
Yeah.
and some of them would, about 5 of them permanently died. Where
That is interesting.
it's
to
like
me.
they could not be, like they would still like it kind of like essentially became Star Wars ghosts.
Yeah. Yep.
in the sense
Force
of like
Jedi.
yeah,
Force,
it's like
Force
it's like
Ghost. Force Ghost.
they're dead. They're no
Yeah.
longer allowed to participate in the battle,
But they can
they're on
influence
the
the
shelf.
emotions.
but they can come back as characters
Yeah.
in order
Okay.
to you know what I mean.
Was there any
Yeah.
necromancy going on?
Oh sure,
Revival of
sure.
corpses.
Absolutely. It's
Okay.
like they were dead for the majority of battles. Partly because
Right.
you'd have a villain who would be OP, or you'd have a
OP, definitely.
or a hero who would be
Mhm.
OP, and or like
Mhm.
or an anti-hero who would be
Right.
too just or whatever. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
them. There was like once I learned what anti-heroes were.
Oh, it was over.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude, that made Legos so fun.
I remember when I was like, my sister was like, oh my god, the cool teenager was showing me stuff. And we were watching Ocean's 11, and she's like, yeah, Tim, this is a movie where you kind of want the bad guys to win. And I was like, I'm going to love culture my whole life. I'm going to love film and television. This is so much fun. I love my sister.
Wait, so what was your architect? Was it similar, like factions?
Oh, yeah, definitely factions. Definitely you knew who was going on. there was like a main party. I would say my Lego playing usually emulated video games that I was playing.
Yeah.
So sometimes they would like kind of know the magic or the world of the video game I was playing with the Legos. Right. It kind of extended that time.
Would you?
But I would be like, okay, so I'm having like a big battle with all my dudes. I was more of a figure battler than like a house builder. You know what I mean?
I was
way more of a figure guy.
I had like 2 or 3 structures that I like were
battlefield
like base, and then a lot of the rest of the stuff would just go to vehicles.
Right. Yep. I had vehicles, and I think I would do like a big campaign maybe over 1 day or 2 days, and everybody would reset. This is so interesting to me that some toys die. Or your characters actually die and don't come back to you. You don't even play with them. Like you're not even allowed to play with them. Well, okay, there's a way to make.
They become. They're the Yoda.
That's so
they
interesting
become
to
the Yoda essentially. Yeah,
that's so interesting to me because
you know,
if I got bored, I would just do a whole new campaign. But like everybody, they were still my like. Well, they were the pieces on my keyboard, weren't they? They were the notes in my instrument, weren't they? And I used them every time. It was a new song every time. Yeah. Well, they were my little marching band, weren't they? In fact, they literally were my little troops.
I learned a lot about like people or something.
I learned a lot about people playing Legos by myself.
You know what I mean? Yeah. like actually or something. I don't know. Something about it. It's like,
projecting,
betrayal or whatever.
Yeah.
And all this sort of thing.
Hand-to-hand combat. I learned a lot about doing Lego.
You were saying the video game powers.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. I was also thinking TV, where it's like Avatar: The Last Airbender, big influence where almost every character has some sort of magic where it's like, even if you see a guy, like my guy with like a halberd, for example, it's not obvious looking at him, but I know that guy's got water powers. You know what I mean?
Okay, there is a language of weaponry that...
Well, not because of the halberd, but just because of like this backstory.
Of association to that.
But from watching those shows, I'm like, water powers are a thing. Or playing Pokemon, I'm like, electricity's
and
power.
Like
you know what I mean?
Harry Potter, Final Fantasy.
Harry Potter.
You learn the names of spells. You learn the types of elemental abilities.
And I've got like Ron Weasley. He's got like a gun and a wand, and it's
That's so sick.
It's like they're like,
damn.
You ever read Artemis Fowl?
Absolutely.
Yes, really
series.
fuck yes,
really
dude.
good book series.
Yes.
I loved Artemis Fowl. Yeah.
That shit ruled. That movie I didn't watch it, but it got like panned horribly.
Yeah. A couple things I want to back up just for the viewer. So a halberd is kind of an extended.
They know what a fucking halberd.
Well, for
my viewers.
For any of Benny's viewers who would like to catch up fully with what we're talking about. So a halberd is kind of an extended spear. Probably a guard would carry this. Maybe a cavalry. Curved blade with sort of a pokey tip, but really not like a poking, piercing weapon. Definitely long slashes, a little bit defensive. Like I said, kind of a high guard weapon. So that's a halberd. Moving on. Well, now I've lost my space.
Do you think people don't know what halberds are?
I think
that's a fair call.
I think it might be the thing we've said so far that people the most won't know. Let's talk about weaponry. Do you know what a scimitar is?
Oh, absolutely.
For sure. That's kind of a curved... let me take this, Benny. So that's kind of a curved pirate's sword, kind of the classical curved with a little notch that'll look like this and an additional line down the back. That's a scimitar.
I actually am really upset. The guy who I was just talking about, who had water powers in the halberd, used to have a scimitar, and I think it got vacuumed up or something at some point. And that's like a piece I really, really liked because the scimitar was so cool.
Yeah, that was a hard one to find.
Fucking really like that one.
Damn, that's a hard one to find.
Yeah. Shit. That fucking oof. There's a couple pieces that stick out of my mind that I'm like,
I have a memory
of
a piece.
Wish I had never lost that. You know what I mean?
I have a memory of a piece, and it's very shameful. I went to like a
shit.
I was like doing a childcare. It doesn't matter, but there was like a Lego box there, and I don't know if you've definitely seen this piece. There's the horse Legos, and then there's like the armor that you can put on a horse.
Oh, for sure.
The dressings of a horse, like the little cape. Oh my god! And the helmet. There's like a little metal. I stole it.
Oh, nice.
First of all, I asked the lady who was in charge. I said, "May I please have this?" And she said, "Well, these are my son's Legos. I don't really think it's okay." And I stole it.
Damn, dude.
I really didn't steal a lot in my whole life. And that one sticks out.
Yeah.
I played with it. Damn, did I play with it. It's the best horse. Now it's the strongest horse.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's got that backstory. Yeah. I did steal one thing I also stole a piece one time, but it was not consequential. It was some sort of small piece.
Okay, all right.
It was some sort of like random side piece, and I was like, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seemed like it was totally irrelevant to their set, but I thought it'd be useful for my thing. It was like some sort of like pole that I was like, I kind of need this.
Yeah, on some armature.
On some like this will be useful for like an infrastructure thing I want to do, and they're not going to notice it's gone. Yeah.
Tell me, if I may, Benny.
I'm not a klepto. What? Yeah.
If I may A to C this conversation, familiar with the improv.
For sure.
Tell me about a time in your childhood that you felt a type of shame, like I've just described.
Actually, I was about to.
Childish.
So I have not stolen the for Legos. I didn't do that, but I did swindle a kid with Pokemon cards, and it came back to bite me pretty hard.
Hit it.
Fuck.
You were able to swindle him out of his cards.
Yeah. So we met at a camp when we were like in elementary school, and he had a Mewtwo. He had a holographic Mewtwo, and I promised him.
Oh no.
Oh, it wasn't okay. It wasn't that I Okay, so I promised him that I would give him. Is my door ringing? That is. Hold on, I'm gonna get my door real quick.
I'm gonna guess what happened. Okay, so Benny promised. The kid had a holographic Mewtwo.
All right, I'm back.
I'm gonna guess that you told him you'd give him like way more cards when you get them a month from now.
That's exactly right. I told him that I would give them back to him, and I don't think I had it. I like just to like clarify for my young self, did not have the intention of giving him the cards. I don't. And also, okay, so basically, I'm trying to. It's my friend Dan Shaw.
Okay.
Shout out Dan Shaw.
Dan Shaw, comment.
So the reason it came back to bite me is because I didn't know him at that age. We were much younger. It was at camp, so he was just a camp friend in that circumstance.
Vulnerable to taking his items.
Yeah, I mean, we were. This is when we were like 8. So in that circumstance, we became friends when we were maybe like 14 or so from playing soccer. We became like very close around then. Like we were on the same soccer team for a few years, and just like good buds. And he came over to my house one time, and he brought that up, and he was like, "Hey, do you remember when we were younger and you swindled me out of my Mewtwo?"
So that's where the word.
I think I still had it. And I guess
oh my God.
basically, so that's where it came back to bite me. And for some reason, I think my mom was in the conversation.
Okay.
And she basically was like, "Well, now you have to give them all your holographic cards." And
all of them?
I was like,
Okay,
"Well, I could give." She's like,
whoa.
"Well, you promised, you swindled." And so my mom made me give my friend Dan Shaw. So when I was 14 or so, I ended up he got the Mewtwo back, and plus saw. Actually, I don't know if I got the Mewtwo. I think I might still have that. So he got all of my other holographic cards, which
my God.
I think might have included a Charizard.
Oh my God.
Which could be
you lost some money on this.
That could be like $70,000.
You left some money on the table, Benny. Brutal.
I gotta reach out to Dan Shaw.
Oh my God. That's the cost of doing business. Doing bad business. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I was ashamed of myself for swindling him. And then then it bit me and it came back and it got my ass,
Envy. I asked you once what your greatest sin was, and that was a moment of envy.
Yeah, that certainly wasn't my greatest sin. I forget what did I say my greatest sin?
I think you might have said pride.
Oh, like in general.
Like in the Big Seven. Like the Big
sure,
Seven.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe pride. Pride is What are the 7? Lust?
Yeah. Sloth, gluttony, pride, wrath.
Okay, I don't view lust as an issue.
So that's your greatest one.
So
then that's your greatest one. If there's a sin you don't think is an issue, that's your greatest sin for sure.
Yours was sloth?
I think I might have said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe pride too. but
I'll tell you.
but I indulge in sloth. Yeah, I'm lazy sometimes, or I'll
Has
give
it
myself the
changed?
night off. Well, it might just be some genuine low level depression occasionally, but yeah. So no, maybe envy. It's probably envy. That one hurts the most. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And that's the one.
Wait, is that your greatest? The thing with envy is it's like that one hurts the most. That doesn't mean it's your greatest flaw in terms of sin. Like,
it's a faulty question to start, but it's just a thought
I
experiment.
mean, yeah, no, it's a fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like you know, I can have envy,
Right.
but I wouldn't. But I'd still consider pride to be a bigger issue. You know what I mean? Shit, fuck.
Then I think envy is my biggest issue. I get bummed a lot about like, yeah, I want that, or like, I'll never be. That's what it is. Like, I'll never be this. That's envy, actually.
Well, I mean,
In my
it's also
experience.
possibly. I could see that being an issue. It's also probably false. You probably do fine.
No, you're right. That's why that's the one I notice I need to work on the most, and I'm like aware of it the most. Yeah.
I don't have any.
I'm not pulling wrath on motherfuckers often. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And you'll know it. You'll know it when I wrath you.
I don't have career envy, but I have relationship envy.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I have envy about all types of stuff, career and personal, and whatever else.
Yeah, definitely.
Comment below what you think I'm jealous of. Comment below if you think that I'm jealous of you.
Fucking, fuck.
I got some.
Pride. Yeah.
Which is back to Pokemon.
Hell yeah.
I'm thinking about.
Hell yeah. Favorite Pokemon?
I'm thinking. Well, yes, but I'm also thinking about ways to sort of build to the taxonomy of this scene we're in, this community. And I know you're a data visualization expert with comedy. I think we need some mapping.
A genre, like sort of.
Well, I think we need.
Done. I'll do it.
That's right. But I think we could help each other out.
Pokemon
And
types is
One
what you're going
option
for.
is Pokemon types. Starting with you, I mean, you're certainly grass. Well, certainly bug. You're certainly grass bug. Maybe more, but maybe bug something.
Can I say that is we were talking about this a little bit before too, and I've actually my old improv team did Pokemon types for each of us and like did a thing, and they said, Benny, you're electric, and this is because this is prior to me doing bug stuff. Yeah. So it's like I've recently been doing pure bug, a lot of bug material. I'm curious that if you 2 months ago, if I had been like Benny's bug type, or is that just a recent? You know what I mean?
Well, I think even 2 months ago, yes, you were bug type.
No, that's true. I've had the butterflies have been on the wall for a while.
Yeah, they've been up for a while. You've had jokes about that kind of stuff for a while. And the electric thing I love. I think you're bug electric. You're slash. You're electric and bug.
Okay.
Which is a really good type. That's super good type.
Yeah, electic is one of the bugs. One of the Pokemon.
Is that one? I don't think that's one.
It is. It's not. It's like one of the last few generations.
Okay. Shit. Yeah. I don't have the Switch ones. Yeah. What type am I?
Let's see.
This could be really fun.
I'm thinking about what's in there. We've got flying, normal,
poison,
ground,
dark,
poison,
fairy,
dark,
fire, rock, water, psychic, fighting, normal, steel.
Comment
below. What do you think type I am?
I feel like psychic might be.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. Am I a pure one type or am I a
No,
dual?
I'm thinking because you also.
I'm also.
For some reason, I was gonna say normal type, but I feel like that's. I feel like if you were normal psychic, that'd be interesting.
That's kind of crazy. That hasn't happened yet.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't even know if that's possible.
I don't even know if that's possible
in the game.
within the world of the game.
Like if it folks up the type, shit.
I don't know if we should shout out random people and do. We'll come up with our own Pokemon.
Sure, we could do.
How about
people who are friends?
How about Jerry Seinfeld? What Pokemon type is Jerry?
Oh, he's like.
Seinfeld?
Well, he's like the most.
He's normal.
He's normal.
He's
or,
normal.
Or the airline flying.
He's flying type.
That's such a 1-to-1, but I do think that's funny.
Okay, let's do famous comedians. Let's do the Pokemon types of famous comedians.
Bill Cosby, he's normal for a while, and then the most recent generations, they made him poison and dark.
Yeah.
They switched him for they'd updated his type.
Okay, how about Amy Schumer? What type is she? I think fire.
I could see that.
I think fire, and perhaps flying. I'm just
That's
going
an
quick.
interesting
I'm
one.
going quick
That's
with
an
it.
interesting one.
Let's go
Okay.
quick with it. Hit me with another one.
Okay. Fucking
I got
Who are-
one. Key and Peele.
Key and Peele. Sure. Oh, they're a
What are the
duo.
Pokemon
They're like
types?
one of those like.
They each get a different typing.
Oh. It's got to be the opposite. One's electric, one's ground.
Jordan Peele, I think, is
He's ground.
dark.
No,
No. I
yeah,
think he's
okay.
dark.
Okay.
He's like the darker one in the Remember that sketch where he's like the Make-A-Wish kid in the? I love that one. Do you know what I'm talking about? He's a Make-A-Wish. He's like a dying kid in the hospital bed, and they come to him for Make-A-Wish, and it's like he's scaring them. He's like, oh, "Hi, kid." He's like really touched, scary, dying child, and they're like, "Okay, what's your Make-A-Wish?" And he's like, I want to see the last breath leave a man. He's like, he wants to kill someone. I love it. I love the Make-A-Wish kid who wants to wants to taste
he's also
death.
he's making the horror movie.
Right, exactly.
Like,
so I think he's
dark
a,
type.
yeah.
Yeah. Key is
He might be electric. He's a pretty
Electric does
big
make more
performer.
sense.
He's
Yeah.
a big talent. Electric.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep moving. This is a good exercise.
This is a fun exercise.
This is a fun exercise.
I would like to do anybody that's been on the. What do you think Cameron is?
Oh,
People who have been on the pod and
Cameron is. I want to say fighting because of his physique, but no, I think he's.
I don't know if that's true though.
I think he's normal,
He might be a normal type.
but there's something else to it. Perhaps normal and rock.
Yeah.
And he's a fully.
fire.
You know, I was
Maybe
thinking
water.
is like he's actually my next evolved form. If I was gonna evolve, I would look like Cameron Bradford. I think.
But he.
'Cause I'd get bigger.
Psychic type doesn't seem correct for him though.
No, but he's so smart though. He's smart like a psychic type.
That's true.
Yeah. Damn. If this gets boring in the live stream, go ahead and comment below.
Yeah.
We can do Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, comment what you think your own Pokemon type
Yeah.
is.
Put your
Well,
name
actually,
and your type.
Tim, we're at an hour anyway.
We're at an hour, folks.
So we can. What we can do now is. Do you have any plugs?
Tim's open mic will be coming back this summer.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm. At
Hell
some
yeah.
point. Got some videos coming up. Club video. Well, this will be coming out later.
And when's that at?
July 24th.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
So in a couple days. So
yeah.
this
I
will
don't
probably
really have
not
much
come up.
time to.
But
Yeah.
just keep your eye on the scene, and I'll be around.
Tim's plug is the comedy scene.
The comedy, the Brooklyn. You've seen him in the Brooklyn alt community, folks. Here's Tim Myer. Yeah.
I like to plug New York City. Come on, if you haven't been, you gotta check it out.
I'll plug America.
It's plug America.
Hard thing to do these days.
If you get a chance, come through Ellis Island.
What Pokemon type is America?
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty is Steel type.
Steel type. That's true.
America is.
Cameron might be steel.
Cameron might be Steel.
He's
America
he's
is.
industrious.
He's industrious. America is.
Poison type.
Poison type.
Poisoning. Ground. I don't know.
How about this? America's type is poison
It's like fracking.
and normal. Poison normal.
Yeah, you think you look, at first glance you think it's normal, and then underneath it's poison.
Mm-hmm. And the only way to defeat it is fighting and fire.
Yeah. Jesus.
We're gonna take back what's ours. The right way. The good people are gonna do it.
Well, not.
No, that's not what I'm saying. The good
okay,
people
okay.
are gonna take it
Those
back.
guys are those guys fire type?
Those guys are Digimon. They're not. They don't get to play. They don't get to play.
They've been replaced.
They're pretty good. That's true.
Pokemon will replace us. It's fucking.
So many mixed angles. Oh, when the bits collide.
Yeah.
I sometimes short circuit.
Oh yeah, follow Tim online.
Yeah. Number one Tim.
At number one Tim.
At number one Tim.
Yep. Come to his shows.
Mm-hmm.
Follow him
At
around.
Tim's open mic.
Give him a big old kiss.
Yeah. We kissed. We kissed at Tim's
Oh yeah,
open
we've
mic.
done that. Yeah. I'd love to come.
Fun.
I love Tim's open mic. Very fun.
Thank you so much. We'll be back.
That's it.
We'll be back soon.
Good energy. All right.
Super
Anyway.
fun.
Bye.